Hey guys, this is Zexanite. Welcome back! We are playing some more Asagao Academy. When we last left off, it turns out Mai took the books and was super sad about it. Mai trusted you. Mai trusted you. I the book. I said you didn't steal it because you were using it. And you wouldn't steal the books because you knew how important they were. Mai! How could you do this to me? Mai! Let's get on with it. I waited for Mai outside the girls' restroom, listening to her pump herself up and wash her face. I said Sash would take it well, and part of me believed that, but part of me was still apprehensive. She knows about her condition, and you've read a little bit about her condition, and Sash is a smart guy. So I think that, if you just explain it to him, if you explain that Mai's got this disorder, I think he'll be understanding. So just have faith. Just have faith. It's like a happy mask salesman. Have faith. Maybe it was a bit much to expect Satch to take this in stride. But he definitely wouldn't let this color his suspicions of us as the boots thieves. Definitely. Well, I don't know. I'm ready. It wasn't until we got outside the library that Mai showed signs of wavering. She glanced at me and nodded. There was nowhere for her to escape. She either dealt with the problem and he got mad at her, or I did. She grit her teeth and gingerly pushed open the library door. She stepped through and I followed. To our surprise, Satch wasn't standing at the front desk. Nobody was. Is he off duty? Let's walk around and make sure. Together, we walked through the library, our fearful faces drawing ice from many students hovering over their homework. They chose the library instead of the clubroom because they believed the requirement of quiet would actually help them get their strategies down and in place. We reached the back corner of the library and passed a student asleep on a chair, drool dribbling down his chin. Then we found them. The whole of Normal Boots gathered around a long table, talking quietly but furiously. Yeah. But that's the same strategy you used last year. They'll be prepared for it. Exactly why it's good to use it again, but with a twist. I can't believe you didn't sign up for trivia this year. I get it, but that doesn't make it any easier on us. I'd like to branch out. Alright then. It sounded like they were having a tournament strategy meeting. Without me. Good. Anyway, Mike glanced at me, and I tried not to show it, but I was hurt. Of course they wouldn't want me around. Just because they were treating me like a friend again didn't mean they had trust in me as far as the tournament was concerned. Oh, are we not in the tournament? I don't know. I need to play this game more often. Anyway. Anyway, Satch is over there. We emerged from the shadows like skittish kittens. As soon as Jared saw us approaching, he stopped talking. Can we speak with Satch, please? Privately? All eyes in the room landed on Satch. Sure, continue without me, guys. He stood and we walked over to the corner of the library. Satch crossed his arms, waiting.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Mai bowed deeply, her hands at her sides. Although a touching gesture, I noticed it also hid her face from view. I'm the one who took the books from the library. I have kleptomania, and I couldn't control it. When I found out how much you were suffering, I only felt worse. I thought Hana would be framed for the boots, and I lost all nerve. I'm sorry. She lifted her head. To my surprise, Satch smiled. It's okay.
What?
That's it? Satch sighed and scratched the back of his neck. Yeah, well, it turns out I got fired yesterday, so it doesn't affect me anymore. Satch? No, it's better this way. It wasn't good working here. It's a terrible environment, so in a way, it's a blessing. Is that all you had to say? I guess so. Maya looked as if she were in shock.
Be good.
Cool, I've got to get back to the meeting then. I don't know how good I feel about this. So we followed Satch out from around the bookshelf, but then somebody blocked our way. I knew it. The color drained from Maya's face. I knew you couldn't be trusted. Pink-haired girls are all the same. And it comes as no surprise that redheads would be similar. Wow. Fucking racist! Racist!
Shame.
Without another word, he turned on his heel. Oh no. We rushed back to the normal boots table, but by the time we got there... Fault. He needs that money to go to school, and she let him take the fall for it. Maya slid behind me, pressing her face into my shoulder. How could she do that to them? Can we really trust these girls?
But Maya would never.
Do you really think after all this way that they wouldn't have taken the... that they wouldn't have taken the boots?
That's ridiculous. Why would we take the boots? What could we even do with them?
They were made of gold. Use your head!
But that's not fair.
I trailed off, looking around the room. No one seemed to want to make eye contact with me, not even Satch. I knew Maya wouldn't do such a thing. She even told me so, but she said the same thing about the books. I felt her trembling behind me, and suddenly grew full of doubt. If she didn't want to talk about the books because she was afraid of what would happen, why would she ever tell me about the boots? And if it wasn't her, who? She let Satch take the fall for the books, and it seemed like this case I could go down with her, or... this is hard. This is hard. Cause, okay, like, if... Here's the thing, is before she came clean about her kleptomania, and, like, I feel like we had a reason to trust her, because she trusted enough in us to do that, but now, she's broken our trust. And so, Hana, at this point, does have a really good point. Like, why would she not lie about the boots? And some other thing that I just had the thought of is that, Mai's really, really, really freaking strong. And they talked about how heavy the boots were, but, like... excuse me, sorry. She's really strong, so if somebody could take them, it would be her. But I wanna stand behind her. But, like, I don't know if I can. I really, really want to stand behind her. Like, because, like, at this point, like, both of them have betrayed us. So it's like, I really don't know who to go with on this. Because I feel like if I can't help but wonder if I side with Mai, if I side with the guys, then Mai and I might not be friends anymore, and, like, half the club is, like, not, like, super okay with us to begin with, so it's like, the next thing that happens, I'm not gonna have them as friends either, and then I'm gonna have no friends at the school. But if I side with Mai, the Boots guys are probably not gonna be happy about that, but I'll still have Mai. But then, I feel like if I go with the guys, Satch and I could still be together, but if I go with Mai, then maybe we can't. But Sash said he understood, so maybe it'll work either way. Like, I really want to defend Mai, but like... But she broke our trust, but then the guys also betrayed us. So... I don't know. I don't know who to go with in this situation. Fuck. You know what? Let's, save here. Friends forever. Save here, and then, if, like, something doesn't go right, or, like, something like that, I can change my decision at some point, but, okay, so, I'm thinking of, like, who's, like, Maya's been, like, super there for us, like, the whole time. Like, I think the only thing she's, like, really done is, like, taken a few little items, and then this whole thing with Satch, that she lied about, and that's shitty, but that's, like, the only thing she's done. These guys, and it's like, it's also like, that's something that's like not within her control, and then like, it's something that was like building up within her, so I understand that. But the guys though, like, they had no proof that we did anything, and they just like fucking turned on us. So, and I have to defend Mai, because she's like my one true friend in all of this, so I'm gonna defend her.
Look, I'm on Mai's side, no matter what. If that means you all suspect me, then that's just what it means. We don't have time for this.
I grabbed Mai's hand and pulled her with me away from the table, away from Satch, and away from the Normal Boots Club. When we got out of the library, Mai pulled me into a hug. Oh, no. I hugged her back, fighting tears. This was fine. This was definitely fine.
All over some silly books. But they were important books. Did you ever read them?
Well...
I took them for a reason. There was something I was working on. Working on? What?
She eyed me up and down.
If I tell you, you promise you won't abandon me? Is that something you're still asking at this point?
Good point. Come on. Mai dug through her drawer in our room and pulled out a shiny silver key. With it, she opened the locked drawer at the bottom of her desk and pulled out a stack of papers.
What's this?
This. Eyes shining, she piled the papers into my hands. This is my masterpiece. I read the title, Normal Love, an erotic friend fiction, friendship, drama, angst, comfort fic, lemon. What? I was gonna suppose that meant something, but I don't think it means what I think it means. My eyes widened. I scanned the paper quickly, seeing giant yaoi hands and references to London in the 1800s. You're a yaoi fangirl. Okay.
Shh. Just read it, Hana. Tell me what you think.
I never did finish reading my friend fiction. Friend fiction? What is friend fiction? I don't know. The last thing I remembered was quite a ways through the story was Shane and John starting to over oh, I guess a friend fiction. Oh, I get it. It's like fanfics, but for your friends. Rest is better left unsaid. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, I don't know. It's like the internet doesn't need any more fodder for this shit. I don't know. This is definitely better left unsaid. I expected Mai to at least somewhat return to normal, her normal cheerful self, but by the next day, guilt was clearly gnawing at her conscience. I don't know. Whoa. We sat at our respective desks, Mai tapping away with her pencil. I feel awful. I can't believe he lost his job because of us. Because of me.
Mai, it's not
your fault. Those words died on my lips. It was at least partially her fault. She had a direct hand in it. I could tell her that it wasn't true until the cows came home, but it was true. Partially, but Mai wouldn't let that bit of responsibility go.
Well, isn't there something we can do? I'm gonna confess. I'll take the books to the library and tell her I'm the one who took them. Satch had no idea, and none of it was his fault. He needs his job back. Do you think that'll work? Won't you get in trouble? Probably, but it's not as if I don't deserve it. I took the books after all. That was my doing. She began packing books into her satchel. When she straightened, I stood too. I'm going with you. Thanks, Hana, for everything. Oh, game music. Ugh. When we got to the library, we went straight to the front desk. Mimi was manning it, looking bored out of her mind. Yes, what are you... Hey, you're not allowed back here. We went straight past her and to the door to the back room. Sorry, but this is important. We've got direct business with the librarian. She eyed us warily and shrugged. Suit yourselves, I wouldn't want to be you. Mai knocked on the door, jaw clenched tighter than a corkscrew. That... What? I don't get that imagery. Okay. What is it? I need to speak with you. It's urgent. There was a loud series of grumbles from beyond the door, and then it was opened. I'll give you 5 seconds. Mai hastily slipped the books out of her bag. Do you see these? These are the books that were missing from the library. I took them. Alright, and so I'm turning them in. I'm responsible for stealing them. I should be punished. And then you can give Satch his job back, because he wasn't at fault. She held the books out to the librarian and bowed, tears in her eyes. Under no circumstances. She lifted the books out of Mai's outstretched arms. Mimi! Yes? Mimi sprinted over, abject terror in her eyes. I want these books. I want these put away within 5 minutes, do you understand? Yes, sir. She dashed off. I can't believe this.
But that's not fair! No.
Satch deserves his job back.
Regardless of who took those books. She looked at Mai as though she would spit on her. Satch did not find them, and that is that.
But...
You're the 2 girls who have been hanging out with that bunch recently. Perhaps you would like to have detention over tournament weekend. My jaw dropped. And maybe add Satchel for help. Add a helping for Satchel as well.
No, that's...
Then do not let me see you again. You know what will happen if you do. She slammed the door in our faces. God, I hate her voice. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Mai and I walked back in silence. How could there be something like that in charge of students at a school?
What a jerk!
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Can you believe her? Maybe it's better if he doesn't have that job. Maybe he can get a different job on campus. Like, he could, work in, cafeteria. He could be, I don't know if he could be a teacher's assistant. He has to actually go to class, but, excuse me. I'm sure there are other student jobs elsewhere on campus that he could get. Inwardly, I agreed. No one should have to put up with that kind of treatment. Not even Mimi. But without that job, how was Satch going to pay for school? We weren't allowed to seek work outside of school, unless he found another job here on campus. Yeah, he'd find a new job. Just move on with your life. Make a new life for yourself. Or something. I don't know. Tomorrow was Saturday, only 1 week until the tournament. Okay, so this seems like a good place to stop, so, we'll see what happens with the tournament and the guys and all of everything, next time. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, and goodbye to you all, sirs and madams, and everyone in between.